Next up on the program is the BMW M Performance Race Series. Clearly, all BMW motor cars out there on the track. William and Kamara, back for this race. You've had some technical problems leading up to this.
Yes, it was quite a do on the first race. Lost the motor in quali, so had to pack up, go back home. We managed to get a motor together again, still running it in, but I'm very glad to be here, and at least we all had to take part, and hopefully we can keep the car on the black stuff.
Well, I wish you all of the best. Going on to Nick Macris, you're in the Class B category, third place in the points at the moment.
Yes.
So no pressure really, but you've got to pick up 2 places tomorrow, don't you?
Well, I hope so. So far, also this morning we had clutch issues. So lucky for Freddie and Fast Developments, they pulled the gearbox out, put a new clutch in, and we're going to test out Nana, and hopefully tomorrow we can gain some points.
Lucky you've got M Performance parts. You guys are always working on those cars, you know. Troy, looking forward to the racing in Class B there?
Yes, no, I'm looking forward to it. I think there is a bit of an added advantage being normally aspirated and having a good handling car. The turbo boys are fairly quick today. I've seen some good times from the turbo cars, so it should be a good challenge. I think lying fourth in the points, only 1 point behind third, so yeah, it's going to be a tall ask.
So we're going to look for the name Frey Cochrane in the results. Just quickly, before we say goodbye, William, secret of a good lap around this track for you guys? What's the secret?
So I'd say in the fast turbo cars, I'd say you need to practice the skill to stop the car before you turn in the turns. If you try and carry too much corner speed like a normally aspirated car, you actually don't exit at the fastest speed that you can. So you need to actually brake in time, get the car slower, turn it, and then get back in the power very quick. That gives you a much better exit speed than you could by approaching it like you would do with a normally aspirated car.
Well, hopefully your competitors have taken note of that. Guys, good luck and give it hell out there. Let's have some fun.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Here we go. Down towards turn 1, the hammer drops, and it's Loubser who gets the whole shot. Defensive driving coming from the third place car there as they head down in towards turn 1. Macris trying to find a way through there on him. So a bit of chopping and changing that's going to happen here as we get into the thick of it for the very first time for M Performance Racing Series. And of course it's big fun expected amongst all of the usual competitors. And there is always great action amongst these BMWs as they get into it for the first time. And of course, big fights expected as well amongst the usual contenders. Nice drone shot there of turn 3. Somebody running wide out of turn 3. Loubser hangs on for now. He continues to break away ever so slightly there and putting a bit of room between himself and Gauteng in the Sav Speed car. So Lorenzo Gauteng trying to close down on Loubser. Andreas Meyer there looks like he's up to third, just ahead of Renier Smith and Fabio Fedetto. So I was just mentioning the fact that on the track I was looking for the new man, and unfortunately didn't see him start the race there. So Bob Neal must have had some kind of issues. I can't see him on the timing monitor at the moment either, so we'll keep an eye out on the progress there if Bob Neal was actually able to make it out onto track or if he had some issues. But at this point in time, it's Renier Smith and Fabio Fedetto fighting for 4th and 5th. Looking for Rob Gearing just behind that, and then Nicholas Fisher, first of the Class C competitors by the looks of it, is up into 7th place overall. All of them trying to catch that man. Class A leader in the championship and leading on the track as well at this point. Heading down that back straightaway for the first time, and looks like up into 3rd place and maintaining 3rd place just for the moment. Here's Andreas Meyer. Being closed down rapidly though by the 48 machine. We'll get confirmation as they cross the line as to their standings. Loubser, Gauteng and Andreas Meyer. It says 48 on the side of the car, so that's Nick Macris, who's just not being picked up on the timing monitor at this point. So Nick Macris there, that's the man we're chatting right now about. in 4th place, pushing hard, and not being picked up by the timing monitor because it's saying Rainier Smith at this stage. He's there, and there they've just corrected it. So Macris up into 4th. Rainier Smith is in 5, Fedetto in 6. Macris putting the pressure onto the German though. Andreas Meyer there in the touring car colours. That BMW of his is a really, really awesome little machine. Definitely knows its way around a couple of racetracks and has done some serious damage to the front end of this championship on numerous occasions. Multiple overall champion there in that BMW is the German. Big fights, as always, we expect to see amongst these competitors. Right now it's the German. He hangs on for the 3 spot on track overall. Doing a great job of it to stay ahead of Macris. Lopesha leading things out overall. He starts another lap of the 8 for this race. Just missing William Einkammerer. He's dropped back slightly. Einkammerer didn't have it all his own way there on the start. I'm just trying to pick up where William Einkammerer ended up. I did hear him speaking to Dave in the interview about some potential ailments in the car. Maybe he had some problems in that BMW of his. Normally runs the E92 335i. I'm just looking out my commentary booth window as well to see if I can pick up on that car. Can't pick up at the moment. Lopesha doing it all right to the front. Controlling things admirably and to the tune of almost the entire length of the short straight. In fact, over the length of the short straight, over 2nd place, Lorenzo Gauteng. Lorenzo at this point in time hanging on to 2nd place ahead of the German Andreas Meyer. Leon Lopesha just gets the job done, heading into the dog bone. He's still 2 seconds off his qualifying pace. Amazing to think Leon Lopesha 57.7 would have been 2nd place on the grid behind the 57.5 that Graham Van Breda was able to set on his Kawasaki ZX-10R Masters Cup machine. Just shows you the kind of pace that Lopesha is getting out of that fast developments and bid wheels BMW. Background there, black and white with the M stripe through it, is Rainier Smith. Just behind that, you see a nice little battle. Fabio Fedetto leads out that battle. Rob Gearing's in there as well, just behind, as you can see in the 325 IS. And then behind him, it's Oz Baccioni and Nick Fisher. Alan Hilligan in the orange machine. And flying through there. It looks like it's the 33 car. Yes, it is. That's Jan Everstein. Everstein in the 846 M3. As he makes his way around and completes another lap, almost getting to the halfway stage. Heading down the short straight into a tight left-hander. It's an almost 180-degree corner that comes back at you. On a motorcycle, you drop down into sometimes first gear in that corner. Probably in some of these cars also down into first gear, depending on the gear ratios that they're running. Thought you might like that, Jody. Empower sounding very good here at Red Star Raceway. Good morning, Mr. Hertz. How's Australia this morning? Hope you're enjoying all the action so far here from our M Performance Racing Series. This is Class A, B and C if you have just joined us. D and E will be on track a bit later on. It's too big a field to put them all together today. Andreas Mayer starting to close the gap slightly there on Lorenzo Gauteng and opening up a bit of a margin over Nick Macris and Renier Smith, as you can see. So the German in full flight into the Bridgestone chicane. Big move on the inside. Rob Gearing losing out there to Baggioni. The pull man just finding his way through. And squeezing out Rob Gearing into the chicane. Relatively easily done there. Now that he's through, Gearing tries to come back at him at turn 1. So quite close there between the two of them. Baggioni fighting hard and taking the fight to Rob Gearing. Rob Gearing coming straight back at him. And giving him a good run for his money there. Nice little fight there for what is now 6th, 7th and 8th place on track. Fabio Fedetta still maintains the 6th position. That little group has pulled slightly away now from Nick Fisher and Alan Hilligan. But look at the gap. There's definitely a gap coming down there. So less than a second now between the German and Gauteng. So Renzo going to have to keep his eye on his rearview mirrors. That Sap Speed BMW under a bit of pressure now from the German. Same thing can be said from Macris's point of view, just behind that. Nick Macris has also got some up close and personal attention coming from Renier Smith. Nice little double shot there. Cars going into the bottom corner at turn 6. And now coming through onto the back straight away. This is probably where Lorenzo's got a slight advantage, being Class A at 328i of his is turbocharged, whereas Andreas Mayer's E36 touring car is a naturally aspirated machine. But even with that naturally aspirated car, he's able to sort of not lose too much ground there to the back end of Gauteng. Another lap down, here comes Smith. Oh, big problems there from Renier Smith trying to find a way through on Macris. So Nick Macris under big pressure into turn 1. Just watching in the rear view as well, out of my window. You can see the German closing things down, and in the background Macris definitely under much more pressure than what he has been all race long from Renier Smith. Further back, Nick Naidu in a bit of a fight of his own there with Benny Lates and Hein van der Merwe. Back to the second place battle. The German continues to apply the pressure. Andreas Mayer just getting back here in time after a bit of time in Europe. He got back here I think on Thursday, so just in time to go racing here this weekend. Closes onto the back end of Lorenzo Gauteng again as they head towards the dog bone. So pressure's on here from Andreas Mayer's point of view, putting the pressure onto his Italian rival just ahead of him. And that Sap Speed BMW hanging on for dear life as the German closes in and keeps closing. Behind that, Macris still maintains just ahead. Once again out of the dog bone, through the left-right flick and onto the back straight away. That back straight now just over a K long. This is where the BMWs get into their own 5th or 6th gear. And everything she's got to the braking markers here down at 50 meters. They slam all the way down the gearbox into second and flick through the chicane. Big maneuvering here as they come out of that chicane. It's good drive that the German has got out of chicane, trying to close down on Lorenzo Gauteng. 6 down and 2 to go. Big fight here. Not for Leon Loubser. He's been all on his own, so really not troubled at all. Look at the gap he's got. He's already heading onto the short straight as they head into turn 2. Coming out of turn 2 into turn 3, Leon Loubser's already into turn 6. That's the gap he's been able to pull there in this BMW of his. Loubser, of course, a seasoned campaigner when it comes to the BMW brand, but usually participated in his choice events were time attack events. Now he's becoming a very, very big contender in full circuit racing as well. Take nothing away from this guy. He really has got a great talent behind the wheel of a BMW. Pity we didn't get Iron Karma on track for the first race of today, but hopefully he'll get that car sorted out. Maybe back for race 2. There you go. How's that? That's quite a shot to have. Leader goes into the kink out of the dog bone as the second and third place cars come out of turn 6 and head towards the dog bone. It's a massive advantage. Almost 30 seconds up the road is Loubser ahead of Gauteng and Andreas Mayer. Them, of course, both fighting for Class B, remember. So Loubser's pretty much on his own sim here in Class A. As he comes through, he'll be completing lap number 7, and the last lap board is out. So last lap board there for our leader, Leon Loubser, for Class A. 30 seconds down the road is this battle, and look at this. Andreas Mayer now applying huge pressure. A lot more than what he has been over the last couple of laps. Putting the pressure onto Gauteng, looking for a mistake out of the SAP Speed Racing BMW. E46 328i Turbo, taken on the E36 touring car of the German. Loubser in cruise control. Just could roll out basically from here and still finish up ahead of those two cars just in the background of the shot. Nick Macros has managed to hang on. Still fending off the attack there from Renier Smith. Nicholas Fisher, by this looks of it, just trying to pick up on whether or not there's been a change up there from a Class C point of view. Maybe Hilligen. I think Alan Hilligen's actually leading Class C down in 9th place. Yeah, he'll be hanging on to Class C's lead at this point. So the orange BMW there currently leads Class C for the first heat of M Performance Racing Series, Class A, B and C combined. Loubser out of the bottom end of the track and onto the back straightaway for the last time. Through the dog bone comes second place and third overall, but first and second in Class B as Loubser heads towards the chicane. Leon Loubser tips into the chicane for the last time. Checkered flag on standby. Bid Wheels Fast Developments BMW E92 335i, and that's race 1 done. The win in the bag there for Leon Loubser and Class A, as well as the overall taken by that BMW driver. Here comes second place. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in Class B though that head towards the chicane for the last time. Gauteng going to try and hang on. Can he do it? All the German try and drag him to the line. Out of the gates they come for the last time towards the checkered flag, and yes, Gauteng hangs on. Gauteng comes through for second overall ahead of Andreas Mayer, third overall. That's first and second in Class B's. This is your Class C leader, car 27. Good number on that car there, by the way, Alan Hilligen. Onto the back straightaway he comes, heading down towards the checkered flag. Hilligen with a comfortable margin now over Troy Cochrane and Nick Fisher. That's how things are going to finish up there, I think, for Class C. A nice start there for the day's racing. Yeah, it's going to be Hilligen with the win. Hilligen takes it. Everstein will follow just behind him. He's pushing Class B. It'll be Troy Cochrane for second place. And your outgoing champion in the number 1 car, Nick Fisher, who will take third place overall for Class C. So there you have it, wrapping things up for the first race of the BMW M Performance Racing Series. Leon Loubser for the win, and the overall battle, of course, being won out by Leon Loubser as well there. So a good day's racing so far for the M Performance Racing Series. Looking forward to seeing whether we get both William Einkamera and Bob Neal back on track. Hopefully we do for race 2 later on. And until then, of course, we're heading into some more race action from the sidelines. We're not sure if it's going to be ZX10R Masters Cup first, or possibly classes A and C of the Payball Volkswagen Challenge. But until we know, there is the unofficial results. Loubser taking it overall ahead of Lorenzo Gualtieri and Andreas Meyer. Loubser, of course, also taking Class A. Gualtieri beats out Andreas Meyer and Nick Macris for Class B's top 3. Then it was Renier Smith, Rob Gearing, Osbagioni, Fabio Fedetto. 9th place, the 27 car of Alan Hilligan. He wins out over Troy Cochran and Nick Fisher for Class C honours. And nice to see Pomashine and Neil Pillay just ahead of Krobler for the top 15 overall for the BMW M Performance Racing Series, classes A, B and C.